Hello, everyone. So happy Friday. Well, we are beginning our weekend talking about plant-based diet. We read so much in all the magazines. So what is it about? How does it help us? Well, these are the questions we're going to find out from Susan. Susan is a registered dietitian focusing on plant-based diet, and she's joining me live from right now. Thank you so much, Susan, for joining
Well,
me.
well, thank you so much for inviting me, and it's very excited to be talking about one of my passions. I'm calling from the UK today, so it's evening here. But one of my passions is plant-based nutrition, so it's lovely to be here.
Thank you. So talk to us, why do we have to switch now to a plant-based diet? That's what a lot of people are talking about for health reasons, and what is the advantage?
There's lots of positive benefits and lots of different advantages. A lot of people are switching to more plant-based. They're doing it for several reasons. They're doing it to save the environment, to help with our carbon footprint. A lot of other people do it because it's more animal friendly. They want to be kinder to animals and they switch to plant-based. And then other people do it for positive health reasons. So they do it to lose weight, lower their cholesterol, or just feel better about themselves, because it can be a very healthy diet if it's done properly.
Okay, so anything that you think is negative on plant-based diet, anything at all, or is everything is positive for plant-based diet?
It can be very positive. The only I wouldn't think is negative, but I guess of a challenge, a couple of challenges, um, is that if you don't have a wide variety of foods with lots of a well-balanced diet, then you can have some challenges. You can get into nutrient deficiencies if you don't have a wide variety of your diet in your diet, which means that you want to have lots of different fruits and vegetables. You want to have lots of different grains and pulses, nuts, seeds. Some people will eat eggs and dairy products. So you really need to replace the nutrients from animal products with plant-based products. So you just need a little bit more of meal planning and a little bit of prep time to make sure that it's well balanced. And if it is, there's really no negatives.
So talk to us a little bit. Is plant-based diet the same as being a vegan or vegetarian? I mean, these are all terms that are commonly
Mhm.
used interchangeably, and it's very confusing for someone like us and consumer.
So a vegetarian and a vegan diet are a little bit different. The vegetarian diet has no meat or poultry, no fish or seafood, no insects, no gelatin or animal rennet. Animal rennet is in some types of cheeses, or any stock or fat from animals. So if you're a vegetarian, you will only eat vegetables, fruits, grains and pulses, nuts, seeds, eggs, dairy products, and honey. But if you're a vegan, you don't have the eggs, dairy, or the honey, because you're 100% plant-based. So that's really the difference. But really, we don't really need to be one or the other. You can be a combination. The important thing is try to get more plant-based foods into your diet to be healthier. Even if you want to change it to a more gradual approach, you don't have to just do veganary, for a month. You could do it gradually and take out some of the animal products and replace it with plant-based foods.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about losing weight, right? I mean, most of our society all over the world is obsessed with losing weight. As we all know that we always want to be 5 pounds lighter, right? So talk to us about, and then there's so much other things that have come in the past, eat only meat, only protein, chicken. If you do that, you're going to lose weight. So talk to us a little bit about plant-based diet versus some of the other diets that also claim that you can lose weight.
Well, plant-based diets have been around for hundreds of years. This is not a fad diet. This is something that's growing in popularity. And the research does show that typically it's a lower caloric intake of in a diet. It is, your BMI is typically about 1 kilogram per meter squared lower in plant-based people than omnivore diets. So that the research is there to show that people can lose weight on it. But there's so many other positive benefits. It's just it is normally lower in calories because you're not eating a lot of fat from animal products.
Okay. And then what about some of the other diets that people claim, paleo diet and so many other diets that say that you can eat meat and only meat, or meat is one of the things, like protein, for example, right? What are your thoughts on those?
Well, you really don't want to be following a fad diet that's going to claim things that's not research based. Plant-based diets have been around a long time. They can be very healthy. You really don't want to be taking out one food group unless you're replacing it with nutrients from another food group. You mentioned protein. Protein is really important in a plant-based diet. It's a little bit, you need a little bit more time and energy to make meals that are high in protein, because when you take out the fish and the chicken, you're taking away protein as well. So you want to make sure that you have lots of pulses, lots of lentils, lots of beans and peas to make sure you're getting enough protein. But really, we shouldn't be following fad diets. That's, you're going to do it for a month or two, lose weight, and then you're going to put it back on. A plant-based diet you can do forever, and it's very healthy.
Sure. So we talked about the protein, like chicken and fish is very easy, right? You throw a piece of chicken or fish. I mean, I'm just giving an example. I'm also plant-based diet, but I used to eat meat for lunch, as an example. Now, what would you give your recommendation? And this is not a medical advice. Instead of chicken or fish, what would a normal person would eat for lunch to compensate for the protein that the chicken and fish was very easy to get?
Well, they could have eggs, like they could have an egg and vegetable frittata, something like that. They can have a salad with some nice feta cheese and some nuts. They could have like a lentil stew, or they could have a bean chili. So you just want to make sure that instead of the chicken or the fish, you're having nice protein sources, like the beans I mentioned, the lentils. Tofu is very good, so that would be like any type of soya product. All those things are just fantastic sources of protein to have for lunch.
Anything else that we should consider when we switch to a plant-based diet, so that we are not, our nutrients are properly, we take proper nutrients?
Well, really, if you have a wide variety of foods, you shouldn't need to take any supplements. But people are busy today. You know, people are working from home, they have families. I have some clients that are plant-based, but then their partner is not plant-based. So if they find that they're really busy and they can't spend the time preparing wholesome homemade plant-based foods, they may need a supplement. So sometimes you know, plant-based clients do need a supplement if they feel they're not getting all the nutrients from real foods.
So what type of supplement do you recommend that they take?
Well, it depends on the person, and it depends where they're located. Vitamin D is a common one that's recommended for plant-based and for all of us. I'm in the UK, so it's a little bit of a northern country. We don't get the sunshine from October until May. So sometimes we would need a vitamin D supplement. Other supplements they may need would be vitamin B12, calcium, and iron, because they're typically a little bit less in plant-based foods. But you really don't need to be going out and buying lots of supplements. I would recommend to my clients, try to have the foods that are high in these products and not take a supplement. But if people need a higher requirement, or they just can't make the foods, the recipes, well, then a supplement is required. But the main one would be your vitamin D.
Okay, well, this is a quick 10-minute session that we wanted to bring. Importance of plant-based diet and benefits of switching to plant-based diet. Anything else you'd like to add before I wrap up the session for the weekend?
No, it was just lovely talking to you. My website and my Instagram is nutritionu.uk or nutritionu.co.uk. And I have lots of fantastic recipes. I put all my recipes on my website and on Instagram. I'm always putting ideas there about new vegetarian or plant-based products. And it was just here to help anyone stay plant-based and become healthy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susan. And thank you everyone for continuing to support us. We are past our 200,000 followers mark. So thank you so much. Something that we just started about 1.5 years back. So stay tuned, and we are launching a lot of amazing workshops and a lot of interesting programs within the month of February. Thank you, and have a great weekend, everyone. Namaste. Bye-bye.
Namaste.